Hi there. If you have seen the previous video, you know how to move around the file system. Let's explore 3 more commands: ls, file, and less. The ls command is probably the most used command. We can see directory contents and determine a variety of important file and directory attributes with it. As we have seen earlier, we can simply enter ls command to get a list of files and subdirectories contained in the current working directory. Besides the current working directory, we can specify the directory to list, like ls/usr. We can even specify multiple directories like this. We can also change the format of the output to reveal more detail by using -l with the ls command. A very important topic is how Linux commands work. Commands are often followed by one or more options that modifies their behavior, and further, by one or more arguments, the items upon which the command acts. So, most commands look kind of like this: command, options, space, arguments. Most commands use options, which consists of a single character preceded by a dash. For example, -l, which we just used with ls command. Many commands, however, including those from the GNU project, also support long options, which is a word preceded by 2 dashes. Also, many commands allow multiple short options to be strung together. For example, in this command ls-lt, ls is given 2 options. L is for producing longer format output, and T option is for sorting the result by the file's modification time. Now we will add the long option --reverse to reverse the order of the sort. Please remember that the command options, like file names in Linux, are case-sensitive. The ls command has a large number of possible options, the most common of which is listed here in the screen. You can pause the video and take a note of it if you want. Let's look at the output we got with ls-l command. The first letter D is to denote that it is a directory. You see, in case of files, the D is replaced by a dash. The second part has some RWX and dashes. This is to denote the read-write execution permission for the files. Let's look at it closely. There are total 9 placeholders to this. The first 3 denotes access level for the file's owner. The next 3 placeholder denotes access level for members of the files group, and the final 3 are for everyone else. R means read, W means write, and X means execute. So, you can easily understand now. For example, the first folder desktop has the permission to read, write, and execute for the file's owner, and only read and execute permission for the group, and the same read and execute permission for all other users. Pretty easy, right? Pause the video and try to deduce for the other files. Now, for the next part. This is to denote the number of hard links for that file. We'll learn about symbolic link and hard links just in a bit. The next part is my username and group name. As I own these files, my username and group names are showing. If someone else's name is showing here, they own the file. The next number is the size of the file or directory in bytes. The next section is date and time of the last modification of the file. And the last section is the file or directory name. As we explore the system, it will be useful to know what files contain. As we discussed in our earlier video, file extensions in Linux are not required to determine a file's contents. While a file name picture.jpg would normally be expected to contain a JPEG compressed image, it is not required in Linux. We will use file command to determine a file's type. The syntax of file command is file space filename. As you can see, I have pic1.jpg and pic2.jpg. To see the type of pic1.jpg, I'll type file space pic1.jpg, and it will show the type of the file. If we try the same command for pic2.jpg, as you can see, this is a text file and not an image file, although the extension of the file is JPG. While many of the files on our system are familiar, for example MP3 and JPEG files, there are many kinds that are a little less obvious and a few that are quite strange. The less command is a program to view text files. Throughout our Linux system, there are many files that contain human-readable text. Many of the files that contain system settings are stored on text format. Those files are called configuration files. Scripts are also in text format. So, text files are a very important part of Linux system. Less program allows us to scroll forward and backward through a text file. For example, to examine the file that defines all the system's user accounts, enter the following command: less/etc/passwd. Once less program starts, we will be able to view the file's contents. If the file content is longer than one page, we can scroll up and down using up and down arrows. To exit less, press Q. Here are some other keyboard shortcuts to use in less command. Here is a fun fact. The less program was designed as an improved replacement of an earlier Unix program called more. The name less is a play on the phrase less is more, a motto of modernist architects and designers. Now, you can wander around the file system to see what makes Linux system tick. Go to your root directory and open and explore the directories one by one. CD into a directory and use the less command to view the contents of a file. If you accidentally attempt to view a non-text file and it scrambles the terminal window, don't worry about it. Just press Q to exit and open the next file. Don't be afraid to look at stuff. Regular users are largely prohibited from messing things up. If a command complains about something, just move on to something else. Spend some time looking around. The system is ours to explore. Remember, in Linux, there are no secrets. I already made a video describing what each and every directory is for. You can have a look at it if you want. As we look around, we are likely to see a directory listing where the first letter is L. Did you notice that the entry has two file names? This is a special kind of file called symbolic link or symlink. In most Unix-like system, it is possible to have a file referenced by multiple names. And there is another kind of link called hard links, which also allows file to have multiple names, but they both do it in different ways. We'll talk more about these in our next video. That's it for today. Feel free to explore the system as you like and practice the commands we learned today, and share this video with your friends so that they can also be a part of our journey to mastering Linux command line. See you on the next one.